Recording in progress.
Yep. Good morning, everyone. So yesterday we learned about what is HTML and browser architecture. So we discussed about what is HTML, and we learned about evolution of HTML. Evolution of HTML is versions. What are the versions of HTML? So HTML is what type of language? Markup. So markup language, and it is used for, we use a markup language for presentations. It is used for presentations. And what are the history? What are the versions? Actually, first version, Tim Berners-Lee. Tim Berners-Lee introduced HTML. IETF. These people developed up to 3.1, and what WG. These people developed HTML4 and 5 versions. These two versions designed. So these are the versions of HTML. And what is the current latest version? 5. HTML5 is the latest. After that, we discussed about browser architecture. In the browser architecture, what are the key components? Browser architecture contains UI. It contains UI backend. UI have a backend also. And it contains a rendering engine. Rendering engine contains a browser engine and it contains a JavaScript interpreter. It contains networking and it contains data persistence. Persistence means data storage, right? So these are the options present in the browser architecture. I explained the complete architecture. So can you name some browser engines? Browser engines have some browser engines like V8 Chakra is a browser engine. Spider Monkey Firefox related engine, that is Gecko, is also an engine. These are all browser engines. Right. So once you know these two things, now today we will see how actually HTML works. So we will learn about another important HTML parsing in browser. How HTML parsing works in browser. Parsing means translating. Converting is the process of parsing. Actually, how HTML is going to translate, how it is going to translate. The process, how it works, let's see. Actually, your HTML, main target of your HTML is it presents the output in a browser. So usually we have a browser. So for example, we have browser. Some different browsers. We have a browser. Now, every browser have a browser engine. Every browser is controlled by using an engine. So this is actually browser engine. So what happens now is you return some markup. Generally, we write some markup. Markup is written like this. For example, we return the markup like this: B, hello, close B. Like this, we write markup. So this indicates that hello word must be printed in bold letters. That indicates it should be printed in bold. Now, when you write the markup, this is not directly understandable to browser. What happens is this markup is first converted into bytes. It is converted into bytes. That means this markup is converted into binary form. It is converted into the binary form. In computer technologies, anything that you write in different languages is not directly understandable to computer. Computer can understand only one format, that is binary. So whatever markup we return, it is first translated into binaries. After translating into binary, these bytes are again converted into, these bytes are converted into characters. These bytes are converted into characters. Characters means separate characters like angle bracket one character, like B another character, close another character. Like that, everything is converted into characters. You return some H, so E, some L, L, O, like that. Everything is converted into characters. Now, whatever the binary form is there, the binary form is converted into characters. After converting into characters, now what happens here is, second, yeah. After converting into characters, these characters are combined together. Those characters are combined together, and they are formed into characters are formed into tokens. The characters are created into tokens. That means the characters are formed in this way: angle bracket and a B and another angle bracket, that becomes one token. These tokens are also called as tags. We call them tags. The characters are combined together and they are formed into tokens. In professional terms, actually in professional terms, there is no tag concept. Browser never knows the word tag, which generally people use. Means ordinary people, when they learn HTML, they know only one thing about HTML, that is HTML contains tags. So, but that is at general level actually. In reality, HTML don't have any tags. HTML contains tokens, which people call them as tags. Architecturally, browser don't have a concept called tag. Characters into token. These tokens are not understandable to browser. Browser can't understand these tokens. Then these tokens are converted into nodes. They are converted into nodes. They are converted into nodes. We call these nodes as, generally nodes are also called as elements. They are called as elements. So every node is called as element. For example, you say B. This is what kind of element? This is a body element, a bold element. It is a bold element. B stands for bold element. Actually, the tokens are converted into nodes. What is the meaning of node? What is the meaning of node? What is the meaning of node? Node means it is a part of a hierarchy. It is a part of a hierarchy. Node means it is a part of hierarchy. That means parent, in parent two childs, under the child again two childs. These are called nodes. A node is a part of an hierarchical order. A node is an part of hierarchy. Actually, these nodes are arranged. These nodes are arranged into an hierarchical order. They are arranged in a hierarchical order. That means we have a parent, and under that parent we have child. Under the parent we have child. That means here they have like child 1 and like child 2. Under that child again so many childs will be there. Like we have child 1. So like we have child 2. like this. Whatever you written in a page, those are arranged in a hierarchical order. Even you don't write hierarchy, browser knows their hierarchy. That means browser knows where which content to keep. It will put everything on screen according to hierarchy. Browser arranges your elements in a hierarchical order. This hierarchical order, we call it as, this is called as DOM, DOM. This is very, very important in HTML. Not only HTML, in entire web development. HTML, CSS, JavaScript, everywhere. So DOM means document object model. DOM stands for document object model. HTML purpose is presenting DOM. Even you don't design DOM, it will create a DOM. So for example, I will show you. Let's see. Let's go to our project, Visual Studio Code. And we created one project. Let's go to that project. I will open the project. The project is what? Flipkart is the project. In this project already some index page is present. What you do, just here I am writing B as I showed you in diagram, hello, and close B. Am I writing anything else here? No, I am writing only bold. Now when I run this in browser, means right click, you can select open with live server. You can select open with live server, or you can click go live. You can use any of those. When you select open with live server, it opens in the browser and it will display the output here. It will display the output like this. Now we return only hello. We return only hello. Now right click in the browser, go to inspect. There will be an option called inspect. Open that inspect. When you select inspect, you can see here, it shows elements. You can see elements are present. You see there is a category here. The category is what? Elements. Is anywhere it is having the word tags? No. It is calling everything as elements. And interesting part is, in those elements, you can observe already there is a hierarchy. That means in the body HTML, there is head and body. Inside the body, there is bold hello. But we never written it. We written only hello. We haven't written head, body and all. So browser will not present any content just like that. Browser will present your markup in a hierarchical order. It knows where which information will come. Who is parent, who is child, it knows. And it arranges in that order only. Even you don't write the order, by default it uses that order. This hierarchical order is called as what? DOM. It's a very big order. Later you will learn about complete DOM. Actually, the complete DOM looks like this. Complete DOM means it looks like this. This is actually complete DOM. This is how it looks like. That means how HTML presents information in browser. This is the order. You can't understand this in the beginning because you don't know anything out of this. Later you will learn about it. Gradually, while learning HTML, you will get awareness on which element, where it comes, right? This is the complete hierarchical order. We call this as what? DOM, document object model. And very important, you can observe here when you use this, you see it is showing here, you can see, you can observe, it is showing here DOM breakpoints. DOM means what? Document Object Model. So any elements are arranged in a hierarchical order. That hierarchical order is called as DOM. Now, after converting the DOM, now what happens here is, this is browser engine. Okay, I will keep this. Fine. This DOM is converted into, it is converted into a layout. The DOM is converted into a layout. The DOM is converted into layout. Layout means what? DOM is converted into a layout. Layout means for example, we go to cinema theater. When you go to cinema theater, they will put a layout of the theater, how to go emergency exit. Am I right? Layout. That is a layout. Layout means what? It will tell where which one will come. That means here staircase is there, here exit door is there, here this is there. That means a layout finalizes the content. That means DOM arranges. After arranging the DOM, finalizing this presentation is called as what? Layout. That means a final layout is prepared for this. After converting to DOM, a layout is prepared. That layout finalizes which information, where and how it will present. So this layout will undergo a process called rendering. It will undergo a process called rendering. What is the meaning of rendering? Rendering is the process of preparing final output. For example, you are watching video. You have video editing. When you open video editing, you can add some transitions, effects into video. After editing the video, it is not ready. We have to render that video. Render means final output should be created. That final output will be saved in MP4 or some format. That output we will send to people. We will not send what we edited directly source. We will send the output of that edited. That means the layout is prepared. That layout will undergo a process called rendering. And rendering means the final output is prepared. After preparing the final output means this layout is processed. That means you can simply say that you drawn a layout with hand and you given this to some computer operator. He will process that layout into a computer diagram so that he can now print that and give it to everybody. That means you drawn the layout, that layout is rendered and final output is ready. Now where to present this output? We have to present this output in browser now. So that means after layout, now after rendering, what happens is browser will use a process called, browser engine will use a process called painting. It uses a process called painting. In this painting process, it will paint the output on browser. That means finally in your browser, you are going to see the word called hello in bold. And this is the result of which process? It is the result of what? Painting. The result of painting is presenting this hello. Once the painting finished, you can see the final output hello. This is the basic process, how it is going to work. You can see some of these process because you can't see engine how it works, but you can see some stages of engine. For example, see, I will open this index page. In this index page, how I got right side this panel. Generally, we call these as developer tools. This area is called developer tools. How you got this developer tools? By inspect. Right click on the page and select inspect. It opens developer tools. In developer tools, currently there are two options. Elements, console. Here, click, you will find performance. You will find performance. Select performance. Now, after you opened performance, click this recording button. That recording button will record your page activity. You click record button and once refresh the page. That means reload this page, enter. It is recording the page. You see it is showing profiling. Profiling, let it profile for 15-20 seconds. After profiling for 15-20 seconds, stop. Because it will take a lot of time, that is not required now. Just you stop. And now when you stop here, you can see it will show the entire process, what happened here. And see the process. In the process, it says loading, scripting, rendering, painting. These are basic phases. Every phase you can't see. They are not visible. You can't see converting into binary to characters, characters to binary. So these are the phases actually. And you can see here there is a rendering phase, painting phase. There are scripting, loading and all. So whatever the terms you have seen, they are all official browser terms actually. That means your HTML is going to translate in browser in a sequence. And that is the sequence you have learned now. Right? That means how HTML is parsed, how HTML is converted. HTML is converted by using this hierarchy. This is the hierarchy of HTML. You written markup. Markup is converted into bytes. Bytes are converted into characters. Characters are converted into tokens. Tokens are converted into elements. Elements are arranged in an order called DOM. That DOM is converted into a layout. Layout is converted into a layout is rendered and it is painted. Layout is rendered and it is painted in the browser. And the final result that you are watching on browser is the result of a process called painting. And this process is managed by a rendering engine. And rendering engine get the presentation from a layout. Layout is prepared from a hierarchy called DOM, Document Object Model. And DOM is designed using a collection of elements. So finally, if anybody asks what is HTML contains, what HTML contains, what I have to learn in HTML. HTML contains collection of elements, not tags. HTML is not collection of tags, which generally people who learn from here and there, YouTube and all, they use the word tags. Don't use word tags. HTML is not collection of tags. HTML is collection of elements. These elements are arranged in a hierarchical order called what? DOM. So you are learning HTML means you are learning how to present DOM. And DOM is presented by using elements, right? So technically, this diagram and all I will upload into class. That PPT I will upload. Yesterday's architecture, this one, that PowerPoint presentation I will upload. You can see that. That is the basic flow, how it works. This presentation I will upload. These are engines, and this is the browser architecture, and this is the parsing technique actually. How the parsing technique works. Different engines, different process will be there. But finally, all will have the same concept. I will show you here. This is. In the HTML parsing, you have bytes, characters, tokens, nodes, and DOM. That is the basic order actually. And this is the presentation. That means how the presentation happens. Remember, currently you are learning HTML. That is the reason you learned only one style. Later, when you are using CSS, then CSS will have another model called CSS object model. HTML have document object model. CSS will have CSS object model. But that you will see later when CSS comes. That means now two models will be working together. One is HTML, which presents elements. Another one CSS, which makes those elements effective, which makes the elements attractive, responsive, effective. There will be two models working in the background. So this is actually CSS model. This is how actually it works. So HTML, DOM, render, layout, and paints. And this is the process in different works, how it is going to work. Later you will understand complete architecture because you haven't learned about CSS yet, right? So the basic output will be in this way. Means what is the HTML parsing step? First, developer writes markup. That means it will be like this. So it will be like this. It writes markup. After that, it is translated. It is translated into bytes. It is translated into bytes. Bytes means it will be in a binary format. After that, so bytes are converted. Bytes are parsed into characters. Bytes are parsed into characters, translated into characters. And characters undergo a process called tokenization and creates tokens. So which are also known as what? Tags. So tokens are also known as tags. Creates tokens which are also known as tags. That means it will convert like this. B. This is bold tag actually. Now these tags actually tokens are converted into elements. So these elements, so which are known as nodes. Elements are known as nodes. That means now suppose we have B, the element is bold element. We have A, it is called anchor element. Like this, we have different elements. We have like P, this is paragraph element. Like this, we have elements. Now these elements are arranged in a hierarchical order. Called, what is that hierarchical order is called as DOM. DOM stands for what? document object model, that is DOM. So this DOM, so DOM and so DOM is processed into layout. DOM is processed into layout using rendering engine. So it will have to process rendering and this. After that, what happens is the DOM is painted in browser. The DOM is presented in browser. Painting means the final presentation. This is the basic process happens, right? So we call this as HTML parsing. So when you put some experience and go to interviews, these questions are very commonly asked. Because as I told you in the beginning itself, not only just freshers are learning this course. Many people who are .NET, Java, Python, PHP developers, who are working in web development already in companies, they are such people are attending these classes regularly. And for those people, when they go to interviews, these kind of questions are asked because already they know web development. They are working with HTML and all from several years, but now they are learning some new advanced features. And in that case, when they go to interviews and they show some experience, then they will ask questions related to architecture. What is browser architecture? Explain the HTML parsing method, how HTML is translated. What is tokenization? What is rendering? What is painting? All these are important to understand. So this is not for fresher. 100 to 100% fresher is never asked with this, because it is too much to ask for a fresher this, right? They will just ask, what is a browser? Do you know any browser engines? Can you name those engines? That's it, right? But understanding this architecture is important. Now, what you understood here is, so HTML. So what you understood here, so summary, I will say summary. Summary is HTML presents DOM. HTML presents DOM. That is the final summary. HTML is a presentation language and it presents DOM. What is DOM? It is a hierarchy of elements. It is which is a hierarchy of elements. So what do you say now? HTML is a collection of elements. HTML is a collection of elements. So that is very important. So learning HTML is all about learning elements. Which element for which purpose? Suppose I want to put a picture, then I need a image element. I want to put a paragraph. I need a paragraph element. I need a heading element. For every purpose, HTML provides elements. So now you are going to learn those elements only. So we are going to learn HTML elements. We are going to see HTML elements. But before starting working with elements, you should know that actually HTML elements are classified into 5 groups. We have 5 types of elements. Number 1, normal elements. Number 2, void elements. Number 3, RC data elements. Number 4, raw text elements. And number 5, we have foreign elements. These are different types of elements. In HTML, elements are hundreds in number. Hundreds of elements are present. But all these elements are categorized into, finally, they are categorized into how many groups? 5. Whatever element you are learning in HTML, it belongs to any one of these 5. Either they are normal element, void element, RC data, raw text, or foreign. What is difference between these elements? Let's see. Actually, first, normal elements written a presentation directly on callback. Normal elements written some presentation directly on callback. Actually, they doesn't require additional attributes. They doesn't require additional attributes. And one problem is they start presenting, but will not stop presenting. That is the reason. Hence, you have to manually stop by using end token, or you call as tag, by using end token. This is normal element. That means normal element means what is meant by callback. Callback means you just mention, it will return some presentation. That means you just mention, it will return some result. You don't need to tell what to return. You just mention it, it will return. That mechanism is called as callback. In computer technologies, callback means you mention about it, it will return a result. You don't need to tell how to return, what to return. It will decide. It knows what to return, how to return, where to return. It knows. You just mention it. It is going to return. We call this mechanism as callback. In computer technologies, every programming language uses a lot of callbacks actually. Here, what is point is simple. For example, see now, I will show in the design here. Welcome to HTML. It is a markup language. Like this I written. Now in the output it comes in this way. It will display like this. I want this HTML word bold. Then what I will do is, for this HTML, I will start B. And important, when I write this is bold is a normal element. Normal element means, am I mentioning anything else? I am not mentioning anything else. I just mentioned bold, B. Then automatically it starts emitting bold. Emitting means returning, presenting bold. It presents bold and it will continue until end. It will never stop. You have to manually stop. That means where you want to end this result, that you have to stop manually. Otherwise, see what happens. It is going to present that bold from H character up to end. We have to manually end. So how do you manually end? Actually, so these elements require two tokens. One is a start token. That start token is like B. Another one is end token. End token is defined with /B like this. You have to use two tokens for that, start and end. If you don't use end token, it is going to return up to end. So you need an end token here. So I need to end after the word HTML. Then what we will do here, we will simply put an end token. End token after HTML, we put a slash, that is end token. Now you can see that it will stop that bold up to HTML only, it will be there. After that, it will stop. This is the nature of normal elements. So a normal element can present any presentation directly without any extra attributes. But once it starts presenting, it can never stop. We have to manually stop. And how do we manually stop? By using end token, we have to manually stop. This is generally normal elements. Example is this one. Bold is example. Now, another category, we have void elements. Void elements. What is the point void? Actually, so void refers to no return value. Void refers to no return value. That means generally it is not a software term. You know, void is a general English word, right? For example, I am talking to my friend. That means I am with my friend. I am talking to my friend, but he is in a void state. Void state. What does that means? I am talking to him, but he is not returning any response. Not responding. That means I am confused. Is he taking my conversation or not? He is not returning anything. Not even a sign. Nothing is written. This is called void state. That is a void state. It's general English word. It's not any software concept. Void means it's not returning anything. That means now you see here, I will write here I will write here an element called img, same like bold. After img, I am writing like here. Suppose in our project in public, we have images. Suppose there is a developer image, fashion image. So here I am writing. So img and I am writing kids fashion. Like this I am writing. And you see here, kids fashion is coming. I will put a line break just for your understanding sake. I will remove this. I will write like this. You see now, it is returning kids fashion, but img is not returning anything. But bold was returning. Right? img is not returning anything. Bold also same I return. I haven't used anything special for that, but it is not returning. So these elements are void elements. Void elements means they don't return anything. Nothing is written. You have to tell what they have to return. You need to tell what they have to return. How to tell what to return? We write image src, source is equal to, later you will learn images, don't worry. Image src is equal to, it is in which folder? Images. In images, that means currently our file is here. It is in which folder? Public. In public, we have images, we have fashion3.png. Now, by default, it is not returning anything. We have to tell what to return. Once you tell what to return, they will return that and they will stop. That means, is this element going to repeat that element option? No. What bold is doing? Bold is repeating. Because you haven't asked what to return, it knows what to return. But here it is not like that. It is not returning anything. You have to tell what to return. Then what it will do? It will return this. After returning this, it will stop. Then you don't need end token. You don't need an end token for this. Why? Because it is not repeating. Because it doesn't know what to return. You just tell what to return. It will return it and stop. That means these elements are called self-ending elements. Self-ending elements, or technically we call them as what? Void elements. Self-ending elements or void elements. So you see what happens now. It is going to return what you are expecting. After that, it will stop. For example, if it is a normal element, then what should happen? It should repeat this photo again until end of document. It should repeat, just like bold. That means a void element. That means usually void element will not return any presentation directly on callback. So it requires attributes that define what to return. And very important, it returns the specific content and stops implicitly. Stops implicitly means it stops internally. Internally it ends. Explicitly means you have to manually end. Implicitly means internally it stops. That is the reason. Hence these elements doesn't require which token? End token. They doesn't require end token. That means they are simply written like this, IMG. That's it. These are void elements. We call them void elements. How to return photos and all later you will learn. That's not the concept. I'm just giving one simple here. IMG uses SRC. So it is public. In that images, some kids .jpg, something, whatever photo you have there. We are not learning any images and all. I'm just explaining difference between different type of elements. Later you will learn bold, images, everything. So first 2 points you should know. Which element doesn't need end tags? Which element doesn't need end tags? Void element. How you know it is a void element? How you know that it is a void element? You write the element, but it will not return any presentation. By using additional attributes only, it can return. And such elements you don't need to end. They will automatically end. So you don't need an end token for that, right? So this is technically normal and void. Next important, you have RC data elements are rich text content elements. What is the point about these rich text content elements is they are used only for rich text and will not allow any another element within the context. This is important. That means what is meant by RC data element? RC data element means you see here, suppose I am writing one element called, suppose I am writing an element called P. Some paragraph is an element. In this element, we have welcome to HTML. This is bold. Welcome to HTML. Now, is it possible to write an element inside another element? Not every time possible. You can't write like this every time. That means we are writing a bold element in a paragraph element. We are writing one element in another element, which is not possible every time. which is not possible every time. If the parent element is an RC data type element, it will not allow any another element inside. That means if the parent element is an RC data type element, then it will not allow any another element inside. It is only for rich text. For example, see, currently this parent element paragraph is not RC data. If it is not RC data, it allows to use. There is no problem. But I am writing an RC data element. Suppose I am writing text area. Text area is an RC data element. In this element also you can display text. But this will not allow any another element inside. If you try to use any another element inside, you see now when I run this, it is not working. It is showing that as bold B. That means, is it possible to write a element in another element in HTML? Not every time. You should first know whether that parent element is an RC data type or not. If the parent element is an RC data type, never try any another element inside. It will not work. That you will learn. That means immediately doubt will come like, how do we know? How do we know? That is what you joined this course for. That means you will learn which element is RC, which element is void. There is no blind marking for that. There is no blind marking that this, if it looks like this, it is RC data. You have to learn an element and its ability. And you have to know its type. You have to remember that. Right? It's not like there is a blind marking technique by seeing that you can say it is RC data. We can't do that. For that, you need to know the element detailedly, then only you can tell whether it is an RC data or not. There is no blind marking for that. Right? So what is RC data element? RC data element is an element which will not allow any another element within it. It is for only plain text contents, right? This is RC data element. So example for this RC data element is text area. Text area. This is an RC data element. So we have normal, so we have void, and we have RC data elements. Next important you have, so we have raw text elements. Raw text elements are presented using raw text characters. Using raw text characters without any token. Without any token. That means without a tag, lot of things are presented. Generally, if anybody says in HTML everything is presented with tags, it's wrong, because in HTML you can present so many things without tag. That is the reason HTML is not about tags. It is about what? Elements. For example, you see here, I am writing some option here. I am writing here, so some offer price, some 45,000, like this I define. Now this is the offer price. And here I am writing #8377 semicolon. Like this I am writing. Actually, this is just normal text. This is normal text. These are normal characters. Now, these normal characters, I added ampersand. I added an ampersand for these characters. Means one more character I added. But this character will change the presentation into a rupee symbol. That means we are presenting some content in HTML without any tag. There is no tag here. There is no token. That means a raw text can present. Ordinary text can present. This is a raw text which is presenting. For example, I am writing ampersand like copy. So say copyright 2023 like this. So you can see it will print a copyright symbol. Like that, so many are there. You will learn gradually. These are raw text elements. This is also presenting, but this is presenting without any tags. No tokens are required here. You don't need a start tag, end tag, nothing is required. That means without any token. Without any token. That means here I am writing ampersand copy semicolon. I am writing ampersand hash 8377 semicolon. So you have so many like ampersand LAQUO. So these are all different characters and different symbols will be there. For example, I am writing here ampersand LAQUO like this. And you can see it is going to present some symbol like this. We have some special characters to present. These are all done by using these what kind of elements? Raw text elements. Raw text elements. Next important, another category, foreign elements. Foreign elements. Foreign elements are presented. Foreign elements are presented. So are presented by using an additional library. Foreign elements are presented by using an additional library. Actually, they are part of HTML, but will not work directly in HTML. They are part of HTML, but they don't work directly in HTML. They need extra plugins support. If those extra plugins are not there, these elements will never work. Right? That means in HTML, there are so many elements in such a way that they don't directly work. You want to use them, then you need a supporting content for them. If you use those supporting content, then only they will work. Just like that, they can't enter into browser without a plugin certifies that content. That means it is just like you provide a visa, then only it can enter into our country. You provide a certificate for that, then only it can enter into browser and show in browser. That is why we call foreign elements. Foreign elements because they are part of HTML, but they don't directly work. To make them work, we need to have lot of certificates. We call actually browser have certificates. You know, browser certificates will be there. Browser certificates means security certificates, tokens will be there. These all certificates prevent your browser from leaking your data. If these certificates fail, then automatically the data will be leaked because your browser is saving passwords. You know, your browser saves password. Yesterday I told you, browser save passwords. What if anybody leaks them? What if anybody sees them? Right? Is there any possibility that anybody can see those passwords? Why not? Why there is no possibility? If it is stored, somebody may see it. Somebody may know its location. Those people are called hackers. Right? What is their job? They explore loopholes in your browser. They will hack the data from your browser. Hack the data from the browser. So these are common actually. That means the point is your browser needs lot of elements with extra support. Directly they don't work. Such elements are called foreign elements. Example for foreign elements, later you will learn canvas. We have SVG. So we have math ML. These all comes under the category of foreign elements. These are used in different ways, right? Canvas, SVG. For example, I will tell you canvas is nothing but, suppose you have a product photo and under that product photo, there is a product barcode. How a barcode is written in HTML? You see how barcode looks like? That means actually how a barcode looks like. Suppose we have barcode. So you have barcode here. You see, this is images. Usually barcode looks like this. Now you can see lot of websites. They will put barcodes below the products so that people can scan the barcode and know about that product. Now the point is how you will design that barcode. Barcode is a combination of strips with some numbers and characters. How do you draw this? How do you design this? These kind of things are done by using Canvas, SVG and all, right? And they don't directly work. Every browser cannot recognize them. And with direct HTML, you can't do. You need a lot of JavaScript support, some extra library functions, then only it will work. Because you have to tell which number to start, which number to end, what is the sequence of that number. You need programming for this. You need programming. It is not drawing, it is programming. That means for every product, a sequence number is created. And those sequence lines are created. Bars are generated. It's a computer program. A developer writes a program that generates a barcode. Remember, these lines sequence are not same for every product. Barcode is not the number below it. It is the lines sequence, strips. That sequence of creating lines is programmatically done. Through program, we create such sequence. One sequence have lines, one closer to another, some gap that matters, that identifies the product. These are actually done by using some external options. We call them Canvas, SVG and all. These are all what kind of elements? Foreign. So how many types of elements are there in HTML? 5. Normal elements, void elements, RC data, raw text and foreign elements. Here, one more important question that comes regularly in interviews. Many interviews they ask, what are semantics? Semantic elements in HTML. What are semantic elements in HTML? Because I told you 5 categories. Officially, these are the 5 categories. But generally, when you are learning HTML, you will come across with different words. Some people will say semantic elements. Semantic elements is not a category. Semantic elements is not a category. Category is 5. We have 5 categories. Semantic elements is not a category of elements. Semantic elements are nothing but is a behavior of elements. It's a behavior of elements. That means what is the meaning of the word semantic? English only, no software. It is just English only. English, what is semantic? Actually, the concept of semantic, see, generally, suppose you see semantic meaning in the dictionary, what the semantic word says. So, language, that means it's a meaning to a language or logic. It's a meaning to a language or logic. Actual concept is generally semantic means nothing but what is the meaning of a language or logic is nothing but semantic means the name tells what it can do. That means by seeing the name, we can tell what it can do. That means, for example, a name is given to some product. Without seeing the product, by the name itself, we can tell what it is. If such thing can happen, we can call them as what? Semantics. Semantics means the name tells what is it, what its behavior is. Everyone will not do like that. For example, some are not semantics. Their name is different, they do different. Their name is different, their purpose is different. But where the name is same what they do, then we can simply call them as semantic. That means you see, just now I used B, bold. That is a semantic. Many people think that semantic means some special category, some newly invented in HTML. No, semantics are there in HTML from so many years. Many people think semantics came from HTML5 onwards. That's the reason sometimes people ask like, do you know HTML5 semantics? HTML5 semantics means he is asking that in HTML5 some new semantics are there. Do you know them? Because semantics is not a part of HTML5. In HTML there are semantics, and more than 100 elements are there semantic. There are no 5, 10, 100, more than 100 elements are there which are semantics. That means their names speak what they are. But everybody's name will not speak what they are. Right? Semantic elements are nothing but, that means the term semantic refers to a specific purpose. And HTML have lot of semantics. That means you can say B is a semantic, H is a semantic, P is a semantic. These are all semantics. We have head is a semantic, body also a semantic. Everything is a semantic. Right? That means they tell what they are. By seeing the name itself, we can understand that, okay, this is this. But some are not semantic. For example, some we write A. It is not a semantic because its name is A, anchor, but its work is link. It creates a link. Then it should be link. But there is another link. This link will do another work. That means their name are different. Their work is different. They are not semantics. HTML have hundreds of semantics. So many semantics are there. Now, as per the standards, you need to understand, right? For example, I told you na, from whom you can refer HTML, what WG, and one more group is there, MDN. You have to prefer these two people. What WG is official HTML and MDN. MDN is Mozilla Developers Network. Actually, this MDN head is Brendan Eich. We call him father of JavaScript. He invented JavaScript. And he is the architect of a browser called Mozilla Firefox. Right? We call him father of JavaScript. And his team is maintaining a group called MDN, and they are official document designers for HTML. These people are official document designers. That means HTML is developed by whom? What WG. Their help documentation is maintained by MDN. That means HTML related help documentation. Every technology needs a help documentation. Suppose Angular, React, JavaScript, jQuery, any technology is released. How developer learns? Suppose some new technology comes. Now you are joining a course in a training institute. Some trainer is teaching you the technology. Who teached him? Who teached him? You will say Udemy or something else. IntelliPath, Udemy, those teached him. And who teached Udemy trainers? Because our Naresh IT, several faculties are there in Udemy, IntelliPath and all. They are teaching. That means who is teaching them? That means nobody is teaching them. They are exploring the technology with their technical skills by reading the documentations. They are learning the technology by themselves. Right? That means the official team is not training them. That means they are investing a lot of their technical skills and learning a technology and training you. That means that is the reason every developer cannot be a successful trainer. You are a software developer working from 25, 30 years in a company. You come to training and you want to train some people. You can't train. You can do any work, whatever given to you, but you can't train people. Training is not development. And people can't understand what you are talking. Even you are an expert from 20, 25 years. That is the reason training skills require lot of documentation skills. You need to read every part, understand every consequence. You need to deliver that to the people from scratch to experience level. This requires lot of exploring of concept, and that all requires lot of documentation. And these people provide the documentation for HTML and JavaScript, MDN. We officially follow these people, MDN. Officially, what WG also follows these people for documentation. That means what WG says that you want good documentation about our HTML, go here. They say that because these people design documentation. Now, when you see here, you see this is MDN actually. MDN. Suppose I said MDN. In MDN semantics HTML, you see these are MDN semantic HTML. This is MDN. You can see this is MDN. This is MDN, official MDN. You see semantics are there everywhere. JavaScript has semantics, CSS has semantics, HTML has semantics. Semantic is not one concept actually. That means now when I go to HTML, these are HTML semantics. HTML semantics. And you can see semantic elements. You can see these are all. So roughly 100 semantic elements are available in HTML. And this is from whom people who are official of HTML, right? That means actually when you go to interviews, your interviewer will ask, there are 5 important semantics in HTML. Can you name them? Oh, what is that? Right? That means actually generally these days interviewers, what happens is in companies, interviewers tries to show his skills to you. He will not test your skills. He tries to show his talent to you. He will be asking like, you don't know this, you don't know this, you don't know this. That means actually that is not required. You just ask what is needed for you. No need to unnecessarily ask the topics which are not at all required. But usually general small scale level interviews, they will ask these kind of questions. Because once you are attending interview, you are answering every question he is asking, then his ego will hurt. Because you are answering everything, then he thinks that, no, I need to ask him something which he can't answer. That is his mindset, strategy. That such mindset people, if they are interviewing you, then that is big problem. Actually, they are doing our time waste. They are wasting our time. Why? Because unnecessary concepts they are asking. Just ask what is needed for real world. Right? This kind of questions you have to face in several interviews and you have to bear them. Why? Because these are very common at small scale level interviews. They ask lot of things just to confirm whether you know the topic perfectly or just you are bluffing the concept. That is the reason you should know these concepts very clearly. So if anybody asks like there are 5 semantics, 10 semantics, you can name them, then you should tell them that in HTML professionally, there are hundreds of semantics. You tell me what semantics I need to tell. You are asking for general HTML semantics or HTML5 semantics. HTML5 semantics means in a HTML5 version, they introduced some new semantics. I will tell you about them. Those we will see how to handle. What are those semantic and all. So is semantic element is a category of elements? It is not a category of elements. Semantic elements means the elements which are designed for specific purpose. The name speaks what they do, right? Those kind of elements are called as what? Semantic elements, and hundreds of semantics are there in HTML. This is all about elements. Now, how to use these elements? Let's see. For that, you need to understand now. So now you know what is HTML, how HTML is translated, how HTML works in browser. Now we need to learn the HTML page structure. How to design a HTML page? We need to know the HTML page structure. And for that important point, every HTML page, first point you should know, every static page, so in can have extension .html or .htm. These two extensions you can use for HTML. Now, if anybody asks what is difference between HTML and HTML, there is no difference. Both are same. Then why you have two extensions? That is nothing but generally as per programming, means as per computer standards. For example, you know, you are using a computer. Do you know in computer file name, to give a name for file, certain rules are there, right? When you give name for files, there are certain rules for naming a file. There are certain rules for naming a file. As per the standards, file name contains two parts. We have primary name or secondary name and secondary name. Primary name, secondary name, or we call them as extension name, secondary or extension, primary, secondary, extension. File name has two parts, and as per the standards, primary name can be from 8 to maximum. So that means standards, as per standards, 255 characters. And secondary name, as per standards, it must be 3 characters. 3 characters. But a computer can take lengthy extension also. More than 3 characters also it can take. But as per standards, how many? 3. That is the reason what happens is, for example, there is a file. The file is some picture. Actually, its file type is JPEG. But generally, it saves the extension .jpg only. But original type is JPEG. Why it is storing only JPG? But some locations it will store 4 characters, JPEG. Some places it will use only 3. That means in some softwares, when you are saving a picture, that software may follow standards correctly. If it is following the standards correctly, it can give file name extension how many characters? 3. That means it will stop at JPG. But some softwares will allow any lengthy extension. In that case, you can give JPEG any lengthy name. That is only the point, right? That means even HTML is also designed in different editors. I told you we can design in different editors. Not only editors. Do you know HTML is also designed through several softwares like even MS Word. By using MS Word also we design a web page. For example, you see now, I am using MS Word. This is MS Word. In this MS Word, I am creating some content like a Flipkart website. So I said online shopping site. Okay. I selected this. I increased the font. I made it bold, center. I changed some color for that. And I selected this here like this. I changed some color. Now, generally, how do you save this file? We will save this file in MS Word. Generally, it saves as docx. But see, I will go to File and Save. While saving, you can observe when I am saving this file in MS Word, it is asking save as type. In that type, you will find there is a web page also. I thought that MS Word means only Word documents. MS Word is used for a lot of purpose. You can design a web page using MS Word. A web page can be designed using MS Word. Now you see, when I select web page, now what happens? It will convert this MS Word document into a HTML page. It writes the HTML code for it. That's great. And we use this type of concept regularly. What we do is we need to design good content. Then we don't waste time in writing code. We will use MS Word, design colors, effects, everything, convert into HTML. Simple. We convert into HTML. We don't waste time. Remember, software development is not talent show. Not talent show, right? Software development is business. Pure business. We don't care about your talent. We just care the work given to you, you can do it or not. By the time you have to finish. You are having gold medals, you are having silver medals. We don't care about that. We don't care, right? Companies will never care about this. That means, remember, you worked for a company for 15, 20 years, right? And in the next month, they don't have a project. They will send you out. No sentiments, nothing. They will not give you even a send-off party also. They will not even ask you to come to office next day. They will say that tomorrow we will send an email, go from there. And send your laptop through a courier, don't come to office. You work at 20 years for that company. They don't care. Software companies don't care. So you should not be get committed with the companies. Right? You should not be get committed. That means psychologically, you should not be get committed with the companies. You do your work, get the salary, finish. You cannot say that, because in interviews, freshers have a lot of excitement. In interviews, they will ask how you will work for my company. You will say that I will dedicate my life for this company. I will die for your company. My life will be for your company. These are all nonsense things. We don't care. They don't care first. Right? They don't want your dedication and everything. They don't care. Just they want your work. That's it. Right? Nobody cares about that. You know, just now recently we saw that Google is laying off. That means Google is removing a lot of people from the company. Do you know? So hundreds of Google employees written letter to CEO of Google. A letter they have submitted recently in news, it is there. Right? They submitted a letter saying that please politely send us out. Please politely send us out. Right? That means harshly don't send us out. That means they know that they are kicked out. The point is they written a letter to the CEO that please politely send us out. Because generally their people, when they send out you out of the company, they never care about you anymore. Any request you are doing, anything you are doing, they don't care. They will simply say that do this and get out. Right? You worked for 20 years also for that company. Nobody cares. So don't waste time. Right? Don't get dedicated with software companies. That cannot happen. You do just your work given to you. Finish that by the time. And how you done the work is important. That means don't waste time. Save time. Use all shortcut techniques. Use all the skill sets and put that work fast. That is the reason if a big design is given and you say that I will work hard day and night, design it, give me 3-4 days time, that will not happen. They will say that we don't need your hard work. By tomorrow, give this. Right? Then how do we do that fastly? Then we take help of lot of such tools. Now what we will do, I will save this as web page. Now, do you know where I saved this? I will save this. I saved this here in the folder. You can see in a folder I saved it. Flipkart website. Here, see, this is a HTML file. I will open that HTML file. You can see when I opened its extension is .htm. Why its extension is HTML? Because this software gives the extension as per standards. Will every software will give like that? No. Some softwares will give direct HTML. Some softwares give HTML. Right? That is the point. So technically, you have no difference between HTML and HTML. Both are same. Right? Now, question is which one you will recommend us to give? I will recommend always HTML. Right? When you give extension, use HTML. Right? Not HTML. HTML is automatically taken when it is published from other softwares. When you manually do, better use HTML. That is enough. Right? This is first thing. Second option. Understood the point? Every page must have extension .html or what? .html. Second point is every page starts with document declaration from HTML5 version. Starts with document declaration from HTML5 version. Document declaration is nothing but actually, now you see this is our index.html page. We added a HTML page. What is our HTML page name? Our HTML page is index.html. Now in this HTML page, the first line, it starts with document declaration. What is this document declaration? It is nothing but generally what happens is, so actually you see, suppose we have browser. Now we have the browser have an engine. This browser is having an engine. Now actually this engine can understand, HTML4 and it can understand HTML5. That means engine have two components, 4 and 5 components are present. Now what happened is you designed a page in HTML5. You designed a page in HTML5. That means you used some new 5 features. And when you send this page and you don't tell the engine which version HTML you used, then engine will use 4 by default. Engine will use 4 by default. Then what happens? Some new concepts that you written in HTML, engine will ignore them. They will not work. Because by default, it is using old version translator. Because engines will have both translators, old and new. Now important, it is using old translator. The new concepts are ignored. Then as a developer, we have to tell the engine that we designed the page in which version? HTML5 version. Then browser will use the 5 engine. Right? That means how do you tell the browser which version of HTML you have used? By using document declaration. By using document declaration. And how document declaration is written? It is written like this, doc type HTML. This is called document declaration. Every HTML page starts with this declaration. Remember, document declaration, actually observe carefully. This indicates it's a token. Am I right? It indicates it is a token. It is for presentation. Right? This indicates not token. It is not a token. That means it is not for presentation. If it is not for presentation, why you are writing? This doc type is using not token. That means this is not for presentation. That means you will not see anything by this. If it is not for presentation, then what it is? It is for version of HTML. If this line is written in the top of HTML page, that means it is designed in which version? HTML5. Because document declaration is not there in HTML4. HTML5 introduced this declaration to tell the engines that it is HTML5. So by writing doc type HTML at the top, what you are trying to tell? We are trying to tell that we are designing the page in which version of HTML? 5 version. That is important. So at the top, you have to write. And very important, capitalization doesn't matter. Always HTML recommends lowercase only, small letters, right? Capitalization doesn't matter. So you write here, exclamation, doc type, HTML. You can write like this. By seeing the page itself, you can tell whether they designed in HTML4 or HTML5. Because remember, lot of companies are still working on HTML4 only, right? Lot of, because you see HTML5 introduced in 2014. HTML5 came in 2014. And from 2004, what WG took the responsibility of HTML. In 2004, they released HTML4. And 10 years, they used HTML4. Now, as per latest statistics, every day, some millions of new websites are coming. Every day, all over the world, millions of new websites are coming. Now, imagine 10 years, one version is used, then how many websites are designed? 90% web is with HTML4 only. Now, recently, everybody changing, transforming into which version of HTML? HTML5. HTML5. That is the reason you should know both, right? You should know both differences, how they work, right? This is the document declaration. What is the purpose of this? It tells which version of HTML we are using. After that, now we have document scope, head, body, and all that we will see in next session, right? In the next session, we will now complete that design. We will learn what is present in head, in body, how to write, how to present everything, right? That we will see in next session. That will be on Monday, right? In Monday session, we will discuss the other parts. Now, then we will see the output. We can see the presentation. We can see the contents coming on the browser now, right? That we'll see on Monday session. Okay, right.